Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel where we explore the world of openSUSE Linux. Today we will dive into an exciting and innovative offering from the openSUSE family, openSUSE MicroOS. This lightweight, transactional, and self-maintaining Linux distribution is designed for the modern cloud-native world. Whether you are curious about MicroOS for containers, immutable infrastructure, or edge computing, this video will be your ultimate guide. So stick around as we explore what it is, how it compares to openSUSE Leap and Tumbleweed, its benefits, use cases, and detailed administration with tools like transactional update and Podman. What is MicroOS? openSUSE MicroOS is a minimal and immutable Linux distribution designed for specialized workloads like containers, edge devices, and microservices. It is based on the ruling release Tumbleweed, but with a critical difference. It uses a transactional update model to manage the system, making it incredibly stable and reliable. How does it differ from openSUSE Leap and Tumbleweed? 1. openSUSE Leap is a fixed release distribution focused on stability for general purpose workloads. 2. openSUSE Tumbleweed is a ruling release offering the latest software for developers and enthusiasts. openSUSE MicroOS, on the other hand, prioritizes immutability. It uses a read-only root file system and atomic updates, making it resilient to configuration drift and system failures. Why choose openSUSE MicroOS? Here are the key benefits. 1. Immutable system. The core OS is read-only, preventing accidental modifications and increasing security. 2. Transactional updates. Updates are atomic and rolled back if something goes wrong, ideal for high availability environments. 3. Self-healing. System failures are minimized thanks to its design, which maintains a consistent state. 4. Optimized for containers. Pre-installed Podman replaces Docker, offering a more secure, rootless container runtime. 5. Perfect for specialized workloads. Whether you are deploying edge devices, hosting microservices, or running containers, MicroOS provides a minimal and secure environment. So let's get MicroOS installed. You may fetch your preferred virtualization app. In my case, I'm going to use KVM. You can use VirtualBox if you want. Just go to this get.opensuse.org and you choose MicroOS to download the ISO. And you can just hit the button of the download and don't forget to do a checksum on the ISO after the download. For more information about MicroOS, you can go to microos.opensuse.org. So let's go ahead and start the installation of openSUSE MicroOS. So now let's start the installation. If you are going to install it on a virtual machine, just fire up your virtual machine and make sure that you configure it with proper specs like memory, CPU, and hard disk like minimum 32 GB, and for memory between 4 GB and 8 GB, and you may give like 2 CPUs or something. Of course, this for testing purposes. If you are going to install it on a physical hardware, so you have no issue. Okay, but try to not install it on very low specs hardware, and you may check the documentation of openSUSE MicroOS to make sure that you're meeting the minimum requirement hardware for installing MicroOS. Okay. So now you use the arrow keys to go and choose installation, and it's pretty similar to openSUSE Tumbleweed installation. I mean the look and feel of the installer. And now it's loading basic drivers. You may safely press escape here to get an output and see what is going on in the background. So usually this step takes few minutes till the installer starting in a GUI. And now the installer started in the GUI. And as you can see, it's pretty similar to, in general, the openSUSE installer, Tumbleweed in particular, because it's based on Tumbleweed. And now here, the language and keyboard page. You can choose your language and make sure that you are choosing the right keyboard. And here you can test your keyboard by pressing few keys to see that when you press a key, you will get what you expect. Next. So here the page to choose the system rule. Okay, you can read carefully which choice you want. By default is MicroOS. It's designed for single purpose systems and optimized for large deployments. Minimal installation, provides no services by default. Install software with transactional-update space pkg space in for package install. MicroOS container host. In my case, because I'm showing a case here, maybe someone is interested to use openSUSE MicroOS as a daily driver OS operating system, maybe on a laptop or a desktop at home. So in my case, I will use this one, Alpha openSUSE Kalba. Yeah, it's still in Alpha, but it's working really flawlessly, and I didn't face so far any issue with it. So I would press next. And here for the NTP server, if you have different NTP, you can put it here if it is an IP or a host name. Okay, and then next. Of course, if you notice that the installer didn't ask us for network configuration because it detected that there is an network and it can reach outside, I mean internet, because it's a virtual machine and the configuration for the network is in NAT. Here you can put your username and password. And if you want to change your network configuration later at the last step, you can do that. And here I will choose username, the password that I put to be the same for the root. If you want your root user to have a different password, if you didn't make the choose here, next step, it will ask you for the root password. Next. And here you can alter and change anything you want in your installation. The main thing here I want to point it out is the partitioning. Let's say if I go and I want to change the layout, you can change the layout, but here, if I choose this, you will get a warning. This is for experts only. You might lose support if you use this. Please refer to the manual to make sure your custom partitioning meets the requirements of this product. So if you didn't check the manual and you just go by yourself to changing the layout of the disk, so it is on you. And most of the time you will get the installation to be failed. Maybe the system will not boot. So just be careful about that. With current proposal, continue. And this is the current proposal. So don't change anything here. Okay, leave it default, because if you are testing or on your let's say you have already installed openSUSE on your hardware like laptop or desktop, and you have a home folder separated, you will see that the installer already detected, and it will give you the chance to do a different mount point for your home folder. So for testing purposes and to show a case here, I will leave everything default. Software, you can choose to install extra software if you want. if it is available in the default repository of MicroOS. Here you can choose the time zone. Here, network configuration, I want to give a host name for this, micro-os. If you want to change from DHCP and give a dedicated IP, static IP, you can do that. Okay. After it finishes, it will bring us back to the installer. Here, if you want to change anything about the booting, the kernel dump, it's disabled by default. Here in security firewall will be disabled. I want to enable it. And here SSH service will be enabled. The port will be blocked. I want to open it. And the beauty also about openSUSE MicroOS, if you want a supported openSUSE version, comes loaded by default with SE Linux. This is your destination to use openSUSE with SE Linux. It's supported 100% by openSUSE. And if you want to go enterprise, you can go with the SUSE Linux MicroOS, now version 6, and the beta is 6.1. So if you want to enjoy SE Linux with openSUSE at the same time, you may go and start using openSUSE MicroOS. Okay, after that, I will just hit install, and we will be back after the installation finish with the login screen. So now the installation finished. Let's log in to our newly installed openSUSE. Yeah, I entered it wrong. MicroOS. Once you log in for the first time, this window will appear and you can increase it like that. openSUSE Kalba, desktop first boot. It will install Firefox and few of KDE Plasma apps. So we can wait for it till it's finished. After the installation finished, we will see here an extra item for internet. By default, you have the player VLC, very minimal installation of openSUSE Tumbleweed. So I will fire up our terminal console. Okay. And let's wait till this finish. So now when it's finished, it will disappear and we can see here Firefox. And if you open your menu, you will see here Firefox. And I think some apps added, like in utilities like the calculator, this screenshot app, and emoji selector. Okay. The first thing you need to do once you log in, let's increase the font here. You log into root using SU. Later we will do the configuration of sudo, because if we do sudo here, it will ask you for the root password because no wheel group created yet. The configuration of the sudo is already exist, but the username is not included in wheel group, and also the wheel group is not created by default. You need to create it. Okay, so the first thing you need to do to make sure that your system is updated, to run this command transactional-update, and you write update and you leave it to finish. Don't reboot. I will explain everything in a moment. So now the transactional update means no update because I downloaded the latest MicroOS. Okay. So the second thing you need to do is to create a profile for your terminal. Configure console, and then you go profiles, and then new, and you name it with your user name. You want to change the initial terminal size, tabs, appearance. Here I will leave it default, but I will change here too bold, and I will make the font 15, so it will be, and for the scrolling I will make it unlimited, apply, and I can press OK. And just to, and here I will choose the profile and I will set as default. Okay. The other thing here in general, you will see that remember window size. So leave this because every time you will open the terminal, it will remember the size that you put the terminal on before you close it. Yeah, when you move the mouse like that, it will getting larger on openSUSE. So I will close the terminal, close it, and I will open it again. And now our profile is active in our terminal with the new size for the font. Okay, so let's move forward. Let's get hands on with system administration in MicroOS. A key tool in MicroOS is the transactional update command. This tool is at the heart of how you manage and maintain system. Let's explore it in detail. The transactional update command is used for managing updates, packages, and configurations in openSUSE MicroOS. Because MicroOS uses a read-only root file system, this command ensures changes are applied transactionally. Here is how it works. A snapshot of the current file system is created. Updates or changes are applied to this snapshot. On the next reboot, the system switches to the update snapshot. This design ensures that updates are atomic and reversible. If something goes wrong, you can boot back to the previous snapshot. So let's try, let's show, let's log into root first. The command transactional update. If I didn't give, let's maximize this. If I didn't give any argument and I just press enter, it will directly trying to do distribution upgrade. Okay, so the second thing is you want to learn about all the options for that command. You can write help or you can use the manual command. Okay, everything is in the manual with a complete, full, informative explanation for all the arguments for the command, and if you can see that it is colorful and to make the reading enjoyable. Okay, so in general, that you run the command transactional update and you have option here and then the command. So let's take an example about the command for distribution upgrades. You can update the entire system to the latest snapshot by running transactional update and distribution upgrade command, and you just press enter. And you can read the messages if you want to learn about something. Let's say you want to install a package. Okay, you run the command the transactional update, install, and the package name. Okay, so let's say you don't know the package name. Here zipper comes to play, that you do normal zipper search, okay, and the name of the package. Like for an example, I want to install new patch, okay, and you want to know the name of the package. Now I know the name of the package. I can go and run this transactional update install and the name of the package. But before that, you have to put pkg install new fetch and you hit enter. So let's open another terminal just to show you something. Here, snapper ls to list the snapshots. So you can see here that this one with the asterisk, okay, so this is the active one right now. Here a new snapshot created and you can see transactional update in progress. Yes, it's just created a snapshot because we run this command. Here I will press yes And now the package will get installed. Let's check here again. Still, we go here. So now you see this with a minus and here with a plus. Okay, so this is the new one. Now you don't want to reboot, and it is a normal package. It's not a kernel update or a core operating system package. Okay, so if you checked the transactional updates help, you will find here this option, apply, switch into default snapshot without reboot. So if I come here and yeah, because the package already installed, but if I tried to press tab or because we not yet in the active snapshot. So now I hope you understand what is the transactional update here and the transactional system that MicroOS, the idea that built on. Okay, it's relying heavily on snapper and snapshots. So now you still here, and this one will be active when you reboot. But I know that I didn't do any core upgrade or installing a core package for my system, so I can just here run apply and I hit enter seamlessly without a reboot or anything. You are applying this snapshot to be running. If I run here snapper ls, you can see okay, and but when I now the command is there and it's auto completion with the tab. Okay, because now you are in the active snapshot without rebooting. Okay, so I hope this idea is clear now. Let's say you want to uninstall the package to remove it. So the same way you install it, you just change install to remove and you hit enter. And again, snapper will create a new snapshot. Okay, and you press yes. So I'm still in this snapshot. If I try to run the command, it will run because I didn't switch yet to the new snapshot. If I run here, apply, if I try to run the command again, it's not there because we uninstalled it and we applied the new snapshot. You can reboot the system to apply changes immediately also, like what we do, but let's say you installed core operating system packages and it needs to be reboot and you got a message on the terminal while you are doing that, you can simply do here reboot and you press enter. So now update successfully installed, system has been upgraded. This is another way, the same that we did with apply, but here it's showing requesting reboot using notify, reboot required, transaction completed. So it is like you rebooted your system on the fly. So you can do apply for small stuff and reboot to be completely transactional your system to the new snapshots. Okay. So let's say something went wrong and you don't like what happened. Simply you can go here and do a rollback. So I think I did a mistake. You have to write the number of the snapshot and we press enter here. If we do, we will see that the plus now is on the 2. Okay. And here, please reboot to finish rollback. So we go and we run this reboot. So it's like continuously your system is up and running. You don't have to physically reboot it. Okay. So that is the beauty about transactional system that you can have with openSUSE MicroOS. Okay. So if you want detailed list of options for transactional update, as we said that slash help will display the help menu and slash continue the process in case of certain errors. If you like if you are going to roll back or installing a package or anything, you want the transactional update to continue running, you just proceed what you are writing with continue. Okay. If you want to suppress the output, you can add quiet. Okay. And another good thing about transactional update that you can add this argument before anything when you running like installing a package or something will change files on your system. You add this backup. It will create a backup before applying changes. Okay. With these options, you have fine-grained control over system updates and configuration. Okay. So to finish this section, let's again, like we do, roll back to the last snapshot that we take here, and it will roll back to snapshot 3. If I go and do snapper ls, it is now the active one. Okay. And you can make sure that it's applied. You can do apply, and now the transactional successfully applied default snapshot as new base for running system. And you can check your snapper here, and the one with the plus is the working one right now. Okay. So this is the transactional update on MicroOS. Also in MicroOS, the root file system, as we said before, is read-only. So software management is done via this command, transactional update. And as we saw before, that you do search using zipper. Like for an example, zipper search. Let's see, KDN Live is there, and see, so it is there. So you can simply go and do package install and the name of the package. And now if you check snapper ls, a new snapshot is created, transactional snapshot, and we can press yes for the installation to go on. Just don't forget, after installing or removing any package on your openSUSE MicroOS, to reboot the system to apply the changes. So because still it is not active yet. Okay. So you have to come here, and here in our case you can do just apply. So now if I try it, now the command auto completion, and it is there. Okay. One last thing to add here, adding extra repositories to MicroOS is not recommended. MicroOS is designed to work with a curated set of repositories to maintain its immutability and stability. Introducing additional repositories can cause conflicts and disrupt the transactional update model. So keep this in mind. You can add extra repositories to your MicroOS, but it will affect the system, the design of the system itself, the transactional update model in whole. Okay, so keep that in mind. Keep this in mind. Now let's quickly make your username to be able to use sudo. Switch to root user, and in order to do that, again, we have to use this command, transactional update shell. It will enter you into a read write shell for your system. So just press enter, and we can check if this one create a snapshot. Okay, it doesn't. Let's check again. Yeah, it is creating a new snapshot. Okay. So now we are inside a shell for the existing system. So let's change our sudo file, and there is 2 lines we need to comment. You may check my other video. Okay, let's go down. Yeah, these two lines, you need to comment them because they are very dangerous if you left them. And for the root here, for the wheel, I will remove the comment from here and I will just save and exit. And now we need to do group add. Okay, and the group name, we'll name it wheel. Okay, and then user mode ag wheel penguin for my username. Once I finish, I will exit the shell and then transactional apply. And we open a new terminal. Let's check now. So it seems that you have to log out your system. So I will log out and be back again. So now after the login, when I check my ID, in case your username didn't take wheel, so in that case, maybe you need to completely reboot your system. One more thing that now I'm able to do sudo -i without asking me my password. And one thing to put in mind if what we did before is not working, you go again to shell, okay, and you will open the following file under usr etc sudoers directory, and this file is a drop-in from the installation, and you make sure that these two lines commented, okay, to be able to use sudo without password. If you are happy with every time you are using sudo and being asked for your own password, it's just fine. But in my case, I don't like that every time I use sudo, I get asked for my password. So you comment these two lines. And again, don't forget, after you finish editing, you exit and you do transactional update and then apply to apply the changes that you just made. So again, now I'm able to do sudo -i. So after that, let's continue. Now we cannot end the video without talking about the most benefit comes out from using MicroOS, openSUSE MicroOS, which is containers. So let's dive deep into containers on openSUSE MicroOS. First, Podman is a container engine similar to Docker, but with a crucial difference. It runs containers rootlessly, making it more secure and ideal for immutable environments like MicroOS. Podman is also the foundation for Distrobox, a tool that lets you run fully functional Linux environments inside containers. The good thing that Distrobox is well integrated with Podman on MicroOS, and it is better to use Distrobox in creating and managing your containers, and let Podman the use of Podman when troubleshoot or something didn't work as it should be. Okay, so let's move on. The first thing you have to do before starting creating containers, that make sure the Podman service is up and running. In order to do that, system control status, okay, podman.socket, and you make sure that it is enabled and running. In case it is not running, you can be root or using sudo if you configure sudo already. And here you do enable dash dash now to make sure the service is up and running. So now let's talk about, you want to create a container like a fully Linux environment, and you can start using it right away. So to do that, Distrobox, if you press tab twice, it will list all the available command with this comes with Distrobox. So in that case, I want Distrobox create -n for name Ubuntu container That's the name I will give it for my container. And what image is Ubuntu latest. And you just hit enter, and now Distrobox will start doing its magic. It will download the image and then will create the container. And now the container is created. If you want to list Distrobox list the containers you have on your system, and it doesn't matter the state of the container, it's up and running or it is not running. So now let's say you want to start using your container. Distrobox comes with this one, Distrobox enter, and the name of the container, and you just hit enter, and now it will do initialization to the container and install some needed basic packages on that, and then it will take you directly to the shell so you can start using the container. So let's wait till it's finished the initialization and installing basic packages. And as you can see, it takes you directly inside the container, and we can do something like etc os. You are inside Ubuntu latest one, and it is like you can run directly commands like maybe a GUI app from inside Ubuntu. And you can do apt update to update the repository. And it seems like, yeah, we have to use sudo. It is Ubuntu. So now I am updating the repository. You want to search for a package, new fetch, for example. So you want to install it. You can install it inside the container, and so the idea is clear now. So you may exit from this. It's like a normal shell. You can write exit or control D to exit. For stop and start a container, first you need to know what container do you have. So you need to list the container. So you want to stop the container from working, you just write distrobox -stop and the name of the container, and that's it. When we do list, it's stopped. You want to start it again, you can just do enter and it will start the container directly. Okay, or you may use Podman start and the name of the container, but mainly stay with the Distrobox unless there is a troubleshoot you need Podman for it. Okay, so in order, let's say you're done with the container and you want to delete it, you will use Distrobox -rm and the name of the container, and you just hit enter and it will start removing the container. When it comes to the images, downloaded images that used to create the containers, then you need to use Podman. In Podman, images will list the downloaded images, and to delete the image is using RMI, stands for remove image, and you put the image ID or the registry full name, and you just hit enter. Now the images is gone. Okay, and that's a detailed look at openSUSE MicroOS based on Tumbleweed, from its immutable design to tools like transactional-update and Podman with Distrobox. It's clear that MicroOS is tailored for modern, specialized workloads. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more openSUSE Linux content. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.